please, don't try anything that you're about to see us do at home. Ever.
Aboard this episode of MythBusters.
It's time for some pillaging. It's time for some robbing.
Booty goes inside it.
It's time to blow some stuff up. It's time for the MythBusters Pirate Special.
That's right, me beauties. Sea Dogs Adam and Jamie have plundered the 7 seas for pirate parable and maritime myth.
I'm so pumped!
First, do more seamen die from the wooden shrapnel than the actual cannonball?
Definitely made a lot of shrapnel.
Then Carrie, Grant, and Tori have their eye on the story that pirate patches were a night vision aid.
That was quite funny.
Next, Adam gets dirty and Jamie cleans up. Will rum remove everyday pirate stains?
The plight of the pirate laundryman.
Okay, I'm ready for battle.
And finally, is it Hollywood hocus pocus, or can you slow a high fall with a knife sail?
Nasty! Arr, you scurvy dog!
Who are the MythBusters? Adam Savage.
Dangerous mind. Middle name.
And Jamie Heineman. Between them, over 30 years special effects experience. Joining them, Tori Belleci.
I'll miss you, buddy.
Carrie Byron.
Don't try what you're about to see at home.
And Grant Imahara.
I'm pumping as fast as I can!
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test.
Something tells me I know the answer to this one. What's the myth?
Right. The myth is that in a firefight with some pirates, in a fusillade of cannonballs, that you would be more in danger of the shrapnel than the cannonballs themselves. He's speechless.
Army hearties, this myth comes straight from the glory days of pirate privateers.
Morgan!
Skilled blackguard captains would run down their heavy, treasure-laden prey, then deliver a mighty broadside.
On the approach! Fire!
But is it true the deadly splinters created on impact caused more deaths than the cannonball itself?
We'll close for the killing and border, and I'll dangle Uncle Harry from the foreyard.
So what's the plan?
Well, last time we tried to find a cannon, the best we could do was find one that just shot blanks. This time we need to fire one that fires a real cannonball. And they're not going to be that easy to find, I don't think.
Now, let's put the researchers on it. And in the meantime, I've got some fabulous ideas for a small-scale, air-powered cannon.
Turn your face around.
Now, if ye be unfamiliar with pirating ways, listen up and listen close. It's Pirate Speak lesson number 1. A pirate woman is more commonly referred to as a wench. Adam briefs myth wench Jess. If an air cannon is to be substituted for a real cannon, it still needs to fire a ball at much the same speed.
What I want to end up with is the slowest possible speed a cannonball could hit a boat, because I don't think we can match the highest possible speed with the air cannon.
So while Jess hits the history books to find out about muzzle velocities, Jamie tells us more about the plan.
It's time to get started on the miniature air cannon. This will be a 20-foot long Schedule 40 pipe with another Schedule 40 pipe and a cap on it on the other end. And a valve will go between the two, and we're just going to pressure the thing with shop air. Turn the valve on, and out goes the ball into the wood. This one is going to be firing a 2-inch ball bearing. Not exactly what you would have had in the oldie times. They happen to be the easiest thing for us to get a hold of because people generally don't fire these things these days.
While Hotshot Heineman puts together a target, old Redbeard Savage gets down to the finer plumbing.
I just don't want any leaks. I don't like leaks.
Myth wench Jess has crunched the numbers. For a blistering broadside, a typical pirate cannonball travels at more than 900 feet per second. That's way out of their little cannon's league. But they think 600 feet per second will be sufficient to splinter the wood in a meaningful way. So, Adam, what are you looking for from this test?
There are 3 things we want to get out of this test. First and foremost is which of the woods is most shrapnel worthy. We're only going to use one of them for the large-scale test, and this is the test where we'll determine which one. Second is there a death zone around the point of impact? Do splinters travel in a specific direction? And third, do they travel with enough speed to have a seemingly deadly amount of power? Do they penetrate?
Pirates weren't choosy about most things, including what their ships were made of, but 3 wood seemed to be the favorites.
we've got pine, we've got white oak, we've got red oak. Now, these aren't scaled to the ship, but that's because on a small scale test, we just want to look at relative splintering ability of each of these kinds of woods. Blimey!
It's simple. Fire the 2-inch ball bearing into the 3 different types of wood. Examine each splinter pattern, and then select the best for the full-scale test. And of course, the winner will be the wood with the deadliest spray of shrapnel. First up on the Cannonball Collision Course, pine planking.
In 3, 2, 1. We're clear.
Oh, the anticipation. That is cool. It's a perfect hole.
A perfect hole, but did it splinter?
Oh, look at that! Dude! That is an excellent thing!
That is awesome.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful result.
Okay, well, let's reset.
With Adam and Jamie up and running, let's take time out to tackle a tale of tricky pirates and their eye patches.
All right, you guys know the whole stereotypical pirate with the eye patch. Yeah, you do. Well, apparently it wasn't to cover up an eye that had been gouged out during battle.
Well, the myth surrounding this one is actually really cool. I mean, the idea is that both of their eyes are perfectly fine, but kept one eye covered with an eye patch to keep that eye constantly night vision ready.
So if you had to dip down below decks during the day, or fight a battle at night after having been inside reading maps. All right.
So we're gonna have to figure out a way to test this one.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Aye, aye.
For all their army hearties and Avashti scurvy dogs, this myth would suggest pirates were no fools when it came to eyeball anatomy. According to pirate folklore, by wearing a patch over a perfectly good eye, a pirate could exit the glare of a ship's deck, shuffle the patch over, and enter the dark below, or leave a well-lit room below decks to fight a nighttime battle up top.
We've got the eye patches. That part's easy. I think now the best thing we can do is go talk to an ophthalmologist and see if the myth has any merit to it before we start.
Then we can figure out a way to test the night vision, maybe like a pirate-themed obstacle course.
Well, if we're building this obstacle course, we're not gonna be able to test it. So we'll save this one for Jamie and Adam, let them test it out.
We can make them wear pirate outfits. It'd be perfect.
While Tori and Grant begin building an obstacle course uniquely designed to test a pirate's night vision,
You guys should maybe just stand back in case this thing falls.
Carrie is off to see an eye doctor.
To test out our pirate eye patch myth, I've come to UCSF to their ophthalmology department so I can see the science behind your eyes adjusting to the light and the dark. Now, the whole idea of this is that the eye patch isn't because you have only one eye, but it's supposed to keep night vision in one eye so that, you know, intruders coming onto your ship, you can quickly change eyes and still have that night vision and maybe have an advantage over them.
So that sounds to me like a plausible myth, and the reason is that if you keep one eye covered with a dark patch, you can keep the nighttime vision cells from getting exposed to light, and you can keep their sensitivity in darkness.
And that works because the eye has 2 major sets of cells, cones and rods. The cone-shaped cells in the retina enable us to see fine detail and color in bright conditions. And the rod cells, which are super sensitive to low levels of light, help us see in the dark. But the catch is, after being in the light, it takes a while for the rod cells to get warmed up for night vision.
So I'm wearing my pirate eye patch. That means I've got the rods active on that side and then the cones active on the eye that can see?
That should work. That should be exactly what's happening.
Okay, but this is MythBusters, where we leave no theory untested. Basically, Carrie gets an eye patch and allows the covered eye plenty of time to adjust to the dark. Dr. Duncan then bleaches Carrie's other eye with bright light.
This feels sort of dizzying. I kind of feel like I'm in that movie Clockwork Orange.
She then tests to see how long it is before Carrie can see low levels of light again. For a comparison, the test is repeated with the already dark adjusted eye.
So here's how you did with the unpatched eye that had all the light. It took about 25 minutes for you to see the dimmest level of light you could see, or took about 25 minutes for your rods to recover from that bright light. Now, if we look at the eye that was patched the whole time,
Wow, what a difference.
Exactly. As soon as we turned off the light, you were immediately able to see as dim a level as you were able to see after about 25-30 minutes in an eye that had been exposed to the bright light. So the patch allowed you to have good sensitivity of your rods right away after the bright light.
So it looks like Carrie has got the science behind the eye patch myth covered. And if she can find her way to the door, we can move things along.
I can't see anything still.
Coming up, Adam and Jamie once again take things too far.
Oh, that's one of the most wrong things we've ever done.
And the team build a treasure hunt for pirates.
Booty goes inside it.
Adam and Jamie are testing the theory that in a pirate ship battle, it's not the direct hit from a cannonball to fear most, but the splintering wood caused by the shell piercing the ship.
Our first test with the pine was actually pretty spectacular. The shrapnel created is quite nasty. It looks like, you know, this whole area would be a bloody mess if you happen to be standing right next to it.
Wow. That is awesome.
Splinters aplenty, but has it achieved the 600 feet per second ball speed required to simulate a genuine cannon?
273 miles per hour. It's slower than I was hoping. But it's still pretty darn fast for a 20-foot barrel.
So the air cannon isn't quite up to speed, but at this stage, they're just comparing the relative splintering qualities of the wood. And seeing as they are already achieving an impressive spray of shrapnel, they're going to move on. Next on the Cannonball Run, White Oak.
3, 2, 1.
Oh. It looks like a bit of it's missing.
A large chunk of white oak went walkabout, but the frag pattern on the foam panels is conclusive.
That is brutal. That is the real deal. I mean, these things are almost obliterated.
Well, it definitely made a lot of shrapnel, even more than the pine.
Well, yeah, it made less pieces of shrapnel, but what it did was they were much bigger and looks like a lot more lethal. I was pulling the tape off of this to reset it, and can you guess?
Some of it stuck into the wood.
Uh-huh. Right there.
Yeah, they're larger, heavier pieces, and so, you know, that starts to make me think that this would be possible. You know, it'd be possible for somebody to be killed with a splinter like that in the right place.
Yeah.
And remembering that we're only at around, what was it?
Yeah, we're at half the speed and half the size of a real cannon. That's awesome.
So if the two woods tested so far, white oak clearly has the deadliest potential. The final test is
Red oak. In 3, 2, 1.
I love this.
It's a bullseye every time, and the wood is flying.
Yeah, it's more really big splinters. You know, I wasn't so sure about this myth when we started. I mean, like, what's more lethal than a cannon shot? But I'm looking at this, and I'm really thinking that there's some meat on the bones of this thing, that it really actually might be plausible, because these shards of white oak were stuck into the plywood and pine boards that were our backstops. That takes a lot of energy to jam wood into wood like that.
It's been a good day's science, and most self-respecting pirates would head home. But Adam has little self-respect.
Now, let's fire into something really fun.
What do you have in mind?
Well, we have a big cast ballistic material head of Grant.
Okay. Pirate speak lesson number 2. A young, likable pirate is affectionately called a scurvy dog. And Grant, the MythBusters version of a scurvy dog if ever there was one, has cast his own face in ballistics material.
There's no scientific purpose to this at all. This is totally just for fun. We rarely finish with a little time extra, so we might as well use the equipment we've set up. Grant's face, test number 1 and only. Firing in.
3, 2, 1.
It was a successful blast, but surprisingly, Grant looks uninjured.
Something happened. It didn't go through his face.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
What is the back of his head?
There's no exit. There's no exit wound. I think it hit him.
What's that? It went right through.
No, that's...
Yeah. That right there.
Wait, let me see. You think it went all the way through his face?
That's... Where else did it go? It hit the thing.
Oh my God, you're right. You're totally right. This thing went all the way through his head. Oh, that's one of the most wrong things we've ever done.
When it comes to pirate myths, the eyes have it. But are those eye patches really a clever method of moving from bright light into a dark ship? After a scientific fact-finding mission at the eye doctor, Carrie's confident this myth is looking good.
I'm starting to feel like we might have a confirmed myth here.
And back at the shop, the team gets set to test the practical applications.
Hoi, matey! Icy landed!
So, they're going to build a pirate ship jungle gym.
I'm gonna make a cannon.
Then ask eye patch-wearing Adam and Jamie to complete the course in the dark.
Do you wanna play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
There'll be obstacles to dodge, cannonballs to avoid.
Cannonball!
Just your average day out pillaging and plundering, really. And what's a pirate story without a fair maiden in distress?
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all these pictures, we're going to put them on the computer, and then we're going to print them out life-size, and I'm going to make these pop-ups that Grant is going to pneumatically control, so that when they come by, poof, if it's a bad pirate, they stab. And if it's the girl they're trying to rescue,
They stab.
they don't stab me, I'm the good one.
So it's life-size pirate pop-ups on the poop deck. But any pirate worth his salt won't be satisfied with a good night's work until he's found the treasure chest. And what goes inside the chest, Carrie?
Booty goes inside it.
Carrie has secured her booty, the pneumatic pirates are ready to pop up, and the ship is in shape. So, how about a demo? But remember, Adam and Jamie will have to do it in the dark.
First pirate.
That is the evil Grant pirate.
This is Evil Grant, and they're gonna have to stab this one through the heart.
And hopefully not walk into that, walk under it.
Okay?
Then
decoy.
pops up the fair maiden that they do not stab.
No stabbing of the maiden. Oh, that's brutal. Okay. And
Oh my god, that's gonna be nuts.
okay, avoiding the cannon,
Not knocking over the cannonballs. Pop up evil Tory pirates.
which they'll have to run through the heart.
And after all that, they get to raid the treasure chest and raise the Jolly Roger.
Hoist the flag.
And just when they think they're done,
They're caught.
All they need now are the victims.
Coming up, the pirates use the only rum to do laundry.
Then Adam and Jamie go head-to-head on the eye patch myth.
I predict that I'll be dancing on Jamie's intestines in minutes.
It's time to sit back with a bottle of grog for a laundry legend.
So guys, what's the myth?
The myth is that in ye olde times, pirates used rum not only for inspiration, but also as a stain remover.
Well, pirates don't strike me as the most fastidious lot, but I suppose if you had blood all over your shirt and then you had shore leave, you'd want to wash it off first.
I guess especially if you had a date.
Pirates had dates?
Pirates and rum go together like cannons and balls. But is it possible that they don't just drink grog, but use it to get those puffy pirate shirts whiter than white?
Well, obviously we're going to need some authentic pirate shirt material, and, we're going to need to stain it with some period-accurate stains.
Blood, sweat, and tar.
Perfect.
We're also obviously going to need some sort of ye olde rum.
Right, and I think we should have something to compare that to. So I think we should use some ye olde soap as well. I have a secret method that the pirates may have used as a laundry technique, and we should compare all three of those to some modern detergent. So I'll do the staining.
Well, I'll do the cleaning then.
And I guess that leaves me to judge.
Exactly.
So it's time for Adam to get down and dirty.
The plan for this test is to choose three most common stains that pirates would encounter. One would be, of course, blood. Another would be, of course, sweat. Pirates were not known for their bathing. And the third would be something you'd find on the ship, which would be pitch or tar. I'm going to make up some 1 foot square samples of this cloth. We're going to put those various stains on it and try and see whether or not rum will actually take those stains out.
The first authentic pirate stain is blood, and Adam knows just where to find some.
We have it in the fridge because Jamie likes to have it every day for lunch. No. Has anyone taken my blood out of the fridge?
Next, Adam takes Jamie's lunch and smears the pig's blood over 4 sample sheets.
This is the plight of the pirate laundryman. Next up for our pirate shirts is pitch. Now, blood and sweat are easy choices when it comes to pirate stains, but we wanted to choose something like grime, and we know that pitch was used on pirate boats and period boats at the time. We've used it on plenty of other episodes, and it's very dirty stuff, so that's what we're going to put on our pirate shirts next. Ta-da! We have 1 stain to go, and I'm going to have to work for this one.
Yep, Adam has a plan to sweat for science.
I'm going to do 3 things. I'm going to get on Jamie's treadmill, in my sweat lodge, formerly his mold room, and I'm going to put on the sweatiest of the sweaty things we have, which is our fire suit. That thing is damn hot inside. I should have no problem producing lots of the correct bodily fluid for this test.
To harvest the bodily fluids, Adam arranges the shirt material for maximum moisture absorption.
It's go time.
Adam leaps onto the treadmill, ready to stain up. But after 15 seconds on his very own wheel of death, he's gasping like an asthmatic hamster.
That says I've only burned 20 calories. What is that about?
Why don't we fast forward to the end of the workout? After all, who wants to watch a grown man ooze sweat stains?
Now we've got 3 kinds of stains here. We got blood, pitch, and sweat. Or as pirates like to refer to it, Saturday night.
There we go.
But there's a problem. Adam's sweat doesn't stink or stain.
My sweat stain isn't working out. It's not very visual, and I guess it's all my clean living. I can't smell the thing at all. But I need a third stain to round out common pirate stains so I can try out these detergents, and I'm thinking oranges. They kept these on the ships to prevent scurvy and, I guess, for some kind of entertainment. So I'm just going to blow these down and, scrunch them on some of this cloth, and we'll see if the detergents in our various tests will take this stain out.
Carrie, Grant, and Tori have set sail on the Eye Patch Myth, and they're ready to press gang Adam and Jamie into service.
Come on, you scurvy dogs!
After Adam and Jamie have dressed for the occasion, the scurvy dogs give out their pirate speak lesson number 3. Avast comes from the Dutch translation of hold fast, but it can also be used as a greeting, as in, Avast, you old sea dog, where you at with this myth? Tests with a small-scale cannonball on authentic pirate ship wood produced spectacular splintering, with White Oak the deadliest of all. So it's on to stage 2, but with the researchers unable to track down a real cannon, the guys scale up their air cannon. This is a plumber's paradise, but can a bigger air cannon actually produce the same explosive power as a real cannon?
It's going to expand slower than gunpowder. There's nothing we can do about that. But even though those speeds are lower, I still think we're looking at a valid test here, because we're looking at the impact of metal and wood, and we're looking at the relative difference between the lethality of that metal cannonball and the splinters of wood that come off the impact.
Bigger air cannon, bigger cannonball.
This is without a doubt the biggest air cannon I've ever built. It's nothing but raw, awesome power, safely implemented. I am satisfied and filthy. 2 of my favorite states.
So let's recap the inventory for this myth. 6-pounders, check. The Maxi air cannon, double check. Authentic 16th century pirate ship, Captain, we have a problem. There's none here. Or here. Or even here. But Adam, being the resourceful chap that he is, has a plan to build his own.
So I've come to Svensson's Boatworks in the Alameda Marina because hopefully they have an expert who can tell me about what kind of dimensions they were, how thick the wood was, how they were constructed.
Adam knows pirate ships have horizontal outer planking, supported by vertical ribbing or stanchions, and thinner inner planking. For the correct dimensions of these intricate parts, he seeks the wise counsel of Master Shipwright John Phillips.
So I'd like to be as accurate as possible with my test, and I think I'd like to duplicate both the inner and the outer planking. And so I'd like to get an idea from you what thicknesses of the inner and outer I should be looking at, and also how far apart they are.
Certainly, depending upon the origin of the vessel and the size of the vessel, this stanchion or frame would probably be at least as wide in this dimension as it is thick in this dimension.
And how
so
far
say
from
6 by 6.
Okay.
And those could easily be less than a foot apart.
Oh, okay.
And the planking could be 2, could be 3-inch thick, and maybe the inner planking would be 2-inch thick. So you've got 3, 6, and 2.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
With the numbers hastily scribbled on the back of his hand, Adam heads back to the shop to get busy.
Oh, look, it's beautiful. That's a pirate ship right there.
Adam, haven't you forgotten something?
It doesn't look like much, but it will be a pirate ship soon. Stand by.
Don't you need another 100 or so tons more wood?
Well, these are the uprights. These represent the upright beams that describe the cross-section of the ship. I'm only going to do a small section of this pirate ship. That's all I've got time for. So this is going to be up around the railing of the deck, about 4 feet down. In fact, on a real ship of the period, these things would be placed about this far apart. I'm only going to place 2 of these this far apart because that's what we're shooting between. The other 2 I'll place a little farther apart because they're just to hold up the rest of the wood slats that make up my pirate ship.
And that gap in the center?
Right here in the center, that's where I'm going to be firing. That's where I'll have the real wood, and behind it I'll have the real pirates.
Coming up on MythBusters,
Arr, you scurvy dog!
our intrepid trio are at the pointy end of the knife sale myth.
That doesn't look dorky at all.
Can ye trusty dagger in a sail slow down a plummeting pirate? That's the question Carrie, Grant, and Tori are attempting to answer. So far, they've boarded the good ship Valclutha and plundered her for knowledge, and this myth won't be plain sailing.
So as it turns out, it's not so easy to do this. There are variations in the thickness of the sail, sharpness of the blade, and the angle at which you hold the blade can make a huge difference.
All right, so maybe before we go risking our lives and trying to ride down a sail with a knife, we should do some more tests so we can get some better data.
So let's set up a test where we can use a period knife and cut through a period sail, but maybe make the knife static and run the cloth past it. That way we can take out the human element.
We can test the different sharpnesses of blades and find out what the optimum sharpness is so that you get down the sail safely.
It's a simple build. The knife will be locked off and a run of thick canvas pulled past it using a dead weight thrust. A good knife should have little trouble, but which knife would a pirate use? There's an old pirate saying, keep your blade sharp, you're packing plentiful.
I hate this stuff. Why do people pack with this stuff?
So these are cutlasses?
10 with a cannonball can travel all the way through.
Yeah, I think the scenario we were looking for was where there's such an explosion that it accelerates these particles of wood so fast that everybody in the area just gets sprayed and dies. It's kind of like a shotgun or more like a grenade blast, and I'm not seeing that happen with this stuff. I think the high-speed footage tells the whole story because it's showing a massive quantity of splinters going out of the backside of this boat hull. The problem is that none of it's hitting the pigs with enough strength, enough mass, enough velocity or whatever to actually stick into the pigs.
With no pigs stuck with deadly splinters, this myth is on shaky ground. But Adam and Janie are reluctant to call it busted. Remember, the air cannon isn't quite up to speed. With a muzzle velocity of around 400 miles per hour, it doesn't match up to the real thing.
We've got to figure out a way of getting things to go really fast.
Unable to accept defeat, the pressure is back on to find a genuine cannon and put this myth to rest. Still to come, we're off to the circus with the class clown. When using a knife to slide down sails, it's not the fall that'll kill you, it's the sudden stop. And Buster sucks at landing. This myth needs a dummy that can act like a person.
I mean, I wouldn't want to do it.
Got it.
Seeing as Tori's the class clown, we're taking this myth to the circus. High trapeze, nets, all that safety stuff. Carrie, Tori's about to attempt a life-threatening stunt. Carrie, you're just not taking this seriously, are you? Before this myth turns into a circus, thank you, Carrie, that's quite enough. Tori gets the lowdown on his knife-wielding fall from trapeze trainer Eric Braun.
The net is good to handle someone my size hitting the net from above the frame.
So no matter what, we're going to be safe.
No matter what, you won't hit the ground.
But no. I said no matter what, we're going to be safe.
The biggest risk of injury is one part of your body hitting another part of your body. The most common instance of that is your knee hitting your nose.
Ooh!
Okay,
Yeah.
It's happened before. My sister broke her nose in like 14 places.
Cool.
With her knees
Let's
hitting her
try-
face in the
yeah,
trampoline.
I'll try to avoid that if I can.
When Buster tried this trick, it looked more damaging than a knee to a nose. And with the sail set to the same Buster-busting height, Tori is banking on his partially sharpened knife to slow his fall and cut through the reef bands.
All right, so what I'm about to do is climb up to the top of the sail. We're going to do a free fall test without the knife, just to get a control on my speed. I'm a little nervous because I'm not really sure how I'm going to land. I just don't want to smash my face into my knees. If I can avoid that, I'll be cool.
This first drop will be a knifeless test run. Then we'll stick the knife in and slide this myth home.
Full-scale Tori test. This one's the controlled free fall.
3, 2, 1.
That was great.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
How much of that was free fall and how much of that was you stopping him?
Well, it felt like a lot of it was free fall.
Totally good form. You were right next to the sail the whole time. You had your pretend knife in it, and I mean, it couldn't have been any better.
falling down, Tori's done good. But would he have survived the fall to fight another day?
Actually, it's not bad. I mean, he is just following straight down. He's not freaking out or anything.
That's really good form. Now, here's...
Pirates don't freak out.
Well, you might. Pirates don't.
Right.
Okay, here's the good news. The good news is that your velocity at the very end is 25 feet per second. It's a little bit slower than physics predicts, but I think it's still...
It's really close to a free fall.
And and what that means is if the net weren't there, you would be breaking both legs and in very bad shape.
Good thing for the net.
So, free fall equals broken legs. The question is, will thrusting a knife into the sail slow down Pirate Tori enough to prove this myth?
My biggest concern now is holding on to the knife. Could a pirate hold on to the knife, cutting through the sail, hitting those reef bands, and not letting go? That's what I need to concentrate on right now.
Sorry. Yeah. You want to put the safety on?
Oh. Sure.
Okay. Here you go, sorry.
Safely secured, Tori takes to the rigging. His knife of choice, the not too dull, not too sharp mangoche.
Full scale pirate sail test. Tori, free fall with the knife, sharp.
Okay, call it when you're ready.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Whoa! Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa, that was crazy. As soon as I hit that reef band, the knife just popped right out.
So the reef bands